And we are live. Welcome to the NBA Strategy Show, Tuesday, February 10th, coming off of yesterday's raucous slate, including two different games with ejections. Isaiah Stewart staring a massive suspension in the face. And now today, just a 4-game slate with a 7:30 lock, an 8 o'clock game, a 9 o'clock game, and a 10:30 game. Massive spread in the 4 games we have today. We're waiting on some news, but we are here to break it all down. So hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live, and follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Yo, Beef Stew is going to get a hell of a suspension here. He's not going to be around for a bit. And get ready for Jalen Duren tomorrow or Thursday, whichever day they play. Or I don't know why I said Jalen Duren. Up for Paul Reed. It's going to be Paul Reed season when Duren and Beef Stew are both suspended for their next game. But yeah, Beef Stew's in some trouble here. He gonna be out a minute. I'd be shocked if it's less than 10 games. That will surprise me. Oh, I'm expecting at least 10. I'm expecting 10. What a wild fight, man. That dude's crazy. Just out of nowhere. And then that wide angle where you can see him coming from the side, man. Just like, and you can see him in his mind. He's trying to avoid security. Like he had... who was it? Was it Bridges? Must have been Bridges. He had Bridges dead to rights, but there was a dude there. So he kind of like shrugged that dude out of the way and kept going. It was fun to watch. Good times. Coach Chris, he's not in the dunk contest anymore. I don't think so, at least. He bailed, right? I saw that. Am I crazy? Yeah, I'm right. Yeah, he's not even in the dunk contest anymore. It was a wild one yesterday. I got a hit on the super chat right from the jump, though. Jorge, nailed your Nickeil Alexander-Walker nuke, got 11th in the $5, was in 4th most of the time till Joker expected triple-double, but I'll take it. Thanks for everything you do. Love to see it, brother. Shout out Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Got one right. Had to happen eventually, I guess. Finally got one. Feeling good. Yeah, Lakers news is going to be very annoying and makes this entire setup a little bit more difficult to manage, but what are you going to do? Yeah, who knows the status of Luka? We don't know the status of Reeves. We don't really know the status of Braun. I have Braun in right now and Luka and Reeves out, but it don't matter. It's a total wild card up in the air status. But yeah, I don't know when those suspensions will come down. Probably either today or tomorrow. That Beef Stew one's gonna be bad. I mean, if this were David Stern's NBA, he'd be done for the rest of the year. I don't think Adam Silver will go that way. How many games do they have left in the regular season? Pistons are 39-13. So they have 30 games left. I could see 15. 15 seems... I don't want to say likely, but 15... If they have 30 left, 15 doesn't sound as crazy to me. There's no scenario where it's less than 10, because that's the one they need to police. But 15 of the next 30 sounds I don't know. That sounds normal to me. Which is it. The good news is for the Pistons, it probably doesn't matter. They've built enough of a head start over the Knicks and the Celtics that they probably can't run them down. But yeah, I mean, he's going to be out for a bit for sure. No, he won't get the rest of the season. Not in this NBA. If David Stern were the commissioner, he'd probably get the next 30. I'd be very surprised if he got anywhere near that. I'd be surprised if it was more than 15. I think they'd be more likely to really send, like, if the Pistons were 25-25 or whatever, I think they'd be way more likely to actually make it longer. I don't think they'll go as crazy because they're good, but it needs to be big still. You can get by with fighting while you're on the floor. They have to police this so it seems excessive because they don't want people to come off the bench. The moment people think they can come off the bench because it's not going to be that bad, these things pick back up again. That's the only one that matters. The other guys don't matter. If these guys are going to fist fight each other while they're active on the floor, it is what it is. That's the one thing they're going to try to stop. 8 games would be way lower than I expect. CVig with the super chat as well. Placed first in the pick and roll on FanDuel yesterday. Thanks for Stokastic Tools. Keep up the great work. Love to see it. Seems like everybody had a pretty good day yesterday. I saw a lot of screenshots in Discord this morning. You guys are obviously off to big start in this show. That's fun. So today, we have 4 games. Again, lock at 7:30, not 7 o'clock. Pacers, Knicks. Knicks are 12.5-point favorites. Now, luckily for us, we will get this news, but Johnny Furphy out for the year and most of next year with the torn ACL. Neesmith, questionable. Zubac's questionable. Micah Potter, questionable. TJ McConnell, questionable. All the G League guys, questionable. And then on the Knicks side, no McBride, no Mitchell Robinson, Q-Tag OG Anunoby plus Q-Tags on the G League guys. So the first game right out of the gate is a bit of a mess from the jump. But at least we'll get this news. One of those punches 100% landed. Now, they weren't great punches, but one landed for sure. I can remember seeing it, but it was more of a slap-ish, but one landed. One landed for sure. All right, second game up, 8 o'clock start. Clippers, Rockets. No Garland for the Clippers, but technically speaking, the Clippers and the Rockets are at full strength. You know, the guys that we expect to be there are there. The problem with this one, 209.5 total. The other 3 games on today's slate are all 225 or higher. Nine o'clock start. Mavs, Suns. Suns are 7.5-point favorites. We've got unlikely to see the G League guys for Dallas. Clay with a Q tag. No Grayson Allen for the Suns. And then, as we touched on from the jump, the late night hammer, 10:30 start, hour and a half after the third game. No news for the Spurs. It's just Lindy Waters. And then the Lakers are on a back-to-back, and we have no idea who's playing. whether Luka is in or not. He missed yesterday's and left early 2 games ago. Reeves, we don't know if he's available for back-to-backs just yet. LeBron is 41 years old. That right there is going to be massive. And there's no way to plan for the Lakers yet. At the very least, we need their injury report. Like, because there's a very different situation between all 3 of them sit and like just Luka plays. It's kind of weird. It's going to be tough. I assume Dallas plays tomorrow. Nope. Just questionable with rest on a non-back-to-back. Fair enough. It's a weird one. Okay. Well, let's talk through some of this today, shall we? Yeah, there's no... for the Lakers, there's just no telling. I mean, Luka's missed the last 2 parts of the Philly game. Reeves has only been back for 4 games. So, no idea if he's available to play on a back-to-back. LeBron is just old. So, who knows? But, like, that's going to... optimally, we get chaos with the Lakers. Like, we should want these guys to be weird and out and giving us at least some sort of opportunity to late swap into something good. Because we're going to be able to late swap at least once before Clippers Rockets, although that one won't be valuable. But the late swap before Dallas and Phoenix will be huge. And who knows how you're going to have to shuffle the deck chairs in Lakers, San Antonio. Let's see what the salary tiers look like here. Okay, so Luka's at 11.7, Wemby at 9,700, Braun at 89, Reeves at 82. Shit. These really aren't even great prices for both teams because, like, Luka and Wemby aren't anywhere near each other, even though they should be. No positional overlap between LeBron and Reeves. $800 gap till you get to Castle. So, like, if Reeves ends up out and we didn't expect it, you end up swapping to Castle / Fox, but not ideal. This is even set up worse than I thought it was. Ew. And realistically, we're not going to get this injury. We don't have to get this injury report until 3:30. So, Eastern. So, like, we're not going to have this news for a pretty long time. And I find it difficult to plan for, especially if we get it as triple Q tags. That's miserable. That will be a problem. Realistically, we want at least one of these guys out from the jump. But if it's QQQ, that ain't going to be fun. Ben Mathurin Day. Forgot he played basketball. Does he matter today? Well, we don't have him in for a ton of minutes, but that could be a me thing, which it likely is. Let me look at this Clippers team. Could start. Should start, realistically. But who knows? Don't think Luka plays and they rest him until after the All-Star break. I think if he can play on Thursday, he's absolutely playing against the Mavericks. But That's just me. I'll be very surprised if Luka isn't able to be ready for that Mavs game if he plays today. Steven, don't tempt these people, please. There's nothing I want less in life than to be told the injury status of these players on DraftKings or FanDuel. It might be my least favorite part of my job. So right now, the top of the ownership table for DraftKings is being filled by the Lakers. Now, I don't want you guys to get married to the names you see, whether that's Jared Vanderbilt, Luke Kennard, Rui. Like, LeBron's LeBron. I don't have to tell you guys how to roster guys like LeBron or Reeves or Luka. But don't pay attention to ownership on Vandy, Kennard, Rui, Marcus Smart. Don't go crazy on that yet, because this is all subject to change. We're expecting to get a bunch of value for the Lakers, but we don't really know who it is until all these guys end up in or out. So the expectation is we'll have a bunch of it. We just don't have to know who it's going to be just yet. Like, on the surface, I like Luke Kennard at 4,100, but we'll see. That value is very important. I don't know if you guys noticed that. Vandy, Kennard, Rui, even Dylan Harper at 4,400, but obviously not the same thing. The other names that are at the top, LeBron 8,900, Towns 83, Kawhi at 10K is 30% owned. Wemby at 9,700 is close to 30% owned. So that value is also allowing us to pay up a bit more. And for pay-ups, if Luka plays, he's the biggest pay-up by far. Otherwise, we only have Kawhi Leonard at 10K. Then we get to Wemby. Basically an unowned Alperen Şengün. A completely unowned Kevin Durant. An unowned Pascal Siakam. An unowned Amin Thompson. Houston is not going to look good today because of that, the total, but that matchup seems like it's going to be underowned. The problem is these guys are just all wildly overpriced. 9K Kevin Durant is insane. But it's a 4-gamer. It changes the vibe up quite a bit. What is our optimal lineup to start the day? I have to imagine that this is just a sea of Lakers. Kennard, Harper, Kawhi, LeBron, Towns, LaRavia, Vanderbilt, Mark Williams. That's a name I didn't expect to say at the end. Okay, I mean, it's a bit too much Lakers, but it's going to happen. It's going to be the Lakers today. What do we got on FanDuel? Optimal lineup to start the day. Castle, Chris Dunn, Smart, Jordan Goodwin, Kawhi, LeBron, Towns, Vandy, Mark Williams. Once again, Mark Williams, optimal center on both sites right now. Would I allow 5 Lakers? Yeah, I wouldn't think about it. I'd take whatever I was given. Depends who's in and out, obviously. But it wouldn't even cross my mind to know how many Lakers I had in the lineup. Alrighty. Let's see what else we have out there that looks at least a little interesting. Where do I think is the most intriguing? It's tough because we have a lot of potential huge news. Like, if Aaron Nesmith and Zubats end up out for the Pacers, we're probably going to find some Pacers value that starts putting us in a conversation with some of those Lakers guys. The Anunoby news, like, one of those bench idiots they rotate through will become a guy you can be more interested in. Whether, like, depending on which one of those that is, that's where it gets a little bit harder for the Knicks. They're tough to trust. It's the rest of those games. I mean, to me, the Rockets are going to, and I feel like this has been the case a lot lately. I feel like the Rockets are the sneak team for today once again. Like, I get it's a super low total. Tari Eason sneaks over 10% owned, barely. Reed Shepherd and Şengün are 7. There's just no ownership at all to Houston. And a lot of it just has to do with really bad pricing. I feel like I bring Şengün up a lot. 7% owned, 25% boom score, 9,500 power forward center today. He's just more interesting in a GPP today than what that shows. I'm sorry. I definitely am more interested in Alperen Şengün than the ownership that's shown here. I'd love to say that I'm more interested in KD, but that dude feels like he goes for 35, 2 and 2 every night. I don't know what the deal is. I mean, $8,500 Amin Thompson. I couldn't even tell you the last time that dude had ownership. It feels like it never happens. But as I look at Şengün right there, that's a name that stands out. 7% owned for a 1.28 fantasy point per minute guy on a 4-gamer. Something's off somewhere. To me. That's a guy that should just be more interesting. To me, the perfect probably my favorite GPP play as I see it. But that game's so tough because it's expected to have like 40 less fantasy points than any other spot. I wish I had more to say today. Today's slate is not fun. Do we have anything interesting in the props tool? And I hope you guys have been using or at least checking out the props tool. You can sign up for it using the link in the description. I just realized I have a trade deadline overlay, which I don't know how I lost my original one. Do I have an overlay for this? I'm not confident I do. I'll figure that out at a later date. I just now noticed breaking down every NBA trade deadline move on the screen next to me. I don't know how I lost that. That's weird. That's annoying. Oh well. Dylan Brooks. Under 5.5 rebounds plus assists is the highest EV option. But if I switch it to just our projections, stays with Dylan Brooks. Unfortunately, if we stick with the projections, under 9.5 rebounds for Alperen Şengün is the second best available line to attack today. That makes me feel sad. It makes me feel very sad. Yannick Conan Niederhauser, though, over 4.5 boards at plus 130. If you're looking to find anything good. Look, you can deep dive into these players. Like maybe you're not all that confident, and maybe you're more confident in Dylan Brooks. I can click on Phoenix. I could edit Dylan Brooks's rates. I could bump him up in assists and rebounds and points in minutes if I want. Then I could just apply those rates and see all of the updated bets in front of us. It's right here. So you can get your hands dirty now. Make the tweaks that you think. If you think Jalen Green's playing 20 minutes today, you could just adjust him to 20 minutes. All of the bets update, all of the best lines update, and it gives you everything that you could possibly want. It's never been easier to sign up for it. It's the link in the description, and we are only going to make this tool better over the next weeks, months, whatever. Guys, anything you want me to take a look at? I'm drowning in interesting things to talk about right now. Because even the high end isn't all that fun to talk about other than me touching on Alperen Şengün. Like, we got 30% ownership to the most expensive guy. We've got 30% ownership to the second most expensive guy. If LeBron James happens to be the only one of the big three of the Lakers, he looks great. But until we know what's going on, imagine a world where all of the Lakers play. All of that value evaporates. And this all looks way different then. And then we introduce a 11 plus K Luka. Because we don't really have a ton of weird stuff at the top. It's like the ancillary stuff that gets weirder. But if we look at value, Lakers, three of the... Is that 2, 4, 6? There are 6 guys projected for 5x or better today. 3 of them are the Lakers. That's tough. Until we find out what we actually have. Do I like Brunson? Fine. Just a dude. Probably like Şengün more than him. Not that there's anything wrong with Brunson. Probably like Cooper Flagg better than Brunson. But like so many of these guys with real name, like Castle's 25% owned, Booker's 25% owned, Flagg's already 20% owned. Towns is already pulling 40, and we still don't know the status of OG Anunoby. All these things kind of make me like Pascal Siakam more, but that's besides the point. Isaiah Jackson should be the number 2 center behind Lopez tonight. No idea. Hard to say. I don't know, like, if you're the Clippers, why would you? It's hard to say. I assume our boy Niederhausen still gets some run. I think Isaiah Jackson has money for next year, so who knows? But tough to say for the Clippers. They don't really have any incentive to play Isaiah Jackson more than Niederhauser. Yeah, Steven, I think everybody's taking that discount on Towns. He is 41% owned right now. That's the trickiest part of all of it. Like on this screen right now, we have technically 4 guys that have center availability. Zubats isn't super real right now because he's been coming back from that injury. So technically it's 3. Victor Wembanyama, Alperen Şengün, and Karl Anthony Towns. Right now, Wemby's 30% owned, Towns is 40% owned, and Şengün is 7%. Say whatever we want today about matchups and the skill level of some of these guys, but 30 to Wemby, 41 to Towns, and 7 to Şengün. I think we all hear that and hear the same thing. I'm at least a little bit more interested in Alperen Şengün. Those are the 3 guys you could pay up for at center today. I don't think there's a 41 to 30 to 7 gap. That's just too high. What else is out there at center today? So it's Wemby, Şengün, Towns. Nothing for Zubats. Then you're already down to 6K Mark Williams, who we saw show up in the optimal. Then it's all value idiots. Kleber or Vando. Derek, you're missing the point of this show. DeAndre Ayton, 10% owned. Yuck. Jay Huff, how do you do it? Daniel Gafford's 15% owned. That dude seems like he sprains his ankle every quarter he plays. Like, I think there's something to be said for a $4,800 Brook Lopez, but maybe they play every center 18 minutes. Like, is today a day where you should go, fuck it, I'm going to roll the dice on a $3,800 Oso Ighodaro? 5% owned value option gets you to the opposite side of Mark Williams. There are no other interesting centers. He's probably the name that stands out to me at the bottom. That's definitely too many questions about Marvin Bagley at 9:30 a.m. For that's seriously, do you guys all know him? How are so many of you doing this? Did Bagley send his whole fans? Do you have a lot of brothers and sisters that are in chat today? There can't be this many people wondering about Marvin Bagley. Right? Look, even if we are wildly wrong in our projection, I don't know how you would ever click Marvin Bagley today. He's going back home to Arizona. Should that matter? I've never really understood that. Like, if I were a professional athlete, the closest team that I would have been playing against would have been Philly. So, whatever sport that would be. I hate the state of Pennsylvania. I moved away from it as fast as I possibly could, but I would have had people in chats being like, well, he's coming back to Pennsylvania. There's no place I would rather be less. Surely a lot of people think the same way I do. Who do I think is going to be the MVP this year? It's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, unless there are only two answers. It's either Shai Gilgeous-Alexander or Nikola Jokic. There aren't any other possible outcomes unless both of those dudes don't play 65 games. At which point I don't care who the MVP is because it's the wrong answer. But those are the only two choices. It should be Shai. I don't think that he'll have to worry about it too much for Jokic just because of where the Nuggets are, but you never know. But those are the only two available answers. As far as I'm concerned, in the scenario that they both don't qualify, which I don't think is possible, no one wins. No one is the MVP of the league. But yeah, until further notice, it's just one of those two dudes. It's impossible for it to be someone else if at least one of those guys plays 65 games. I mean, it's Luka's the betting favorite as the non-person in that group of two, but it doesn't matter. It would take a real gigantic, awful run out for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to not play 65 games this year. Let's not cheer for that. So it won't matter. As long as Shai gets to 65, there's no scenario where anybody else could win the MVP. Unless it's Jokic. Impossible to have an answer other than one of those two. Only person that's going to vote for somebody other than those two would be like whoever doesn't want to put Bill Belichick in the Hall of Fame. Dumb people. No. Luka has a 0% chance to win the MVP so long as Jokic and or SGA play 65 games. Impossible. How many games has SGA missed? Like 4? Essentially 0 for all intents and purposes. 4, 5, 6, like nothing, not 17. He's missed 5 games. He's played 49 of 54. So he'd have to miss more than 12 additional games. I don't think that's happening. So SGA will win the MVP in a couple months. Back to back, as he should. But he doesn't matter for today. What matters today is, what do the Lakers do? And how do you get unique on a day where everybody's already playing Kawhi Leonard and Victor Wembanyama and the top dudes? If everybody at the top is already owned, where do we get different? Is it Alperen Sengun? Is it just Houston? Is it Alperen Sengun? Is it Kevin Durant? Is it a unowned Amin Thompson? Well, I'm going to pack it in, because if we're at a point where we're asking the question, Ariel Huckporty, flat 3K, that means that I need to get the hell out of here. Here's the deal, folks. Here's what we got going on for the rest of the day. It's very simple. There's not a lot of sports going on right now. So 6:30 Eastern time, myself and Eric Lindquist will take you up until 7:30, that is, because we're locking at 7:30. And then Greg Ehrenberg will be here for Live After Lock. Might be a little bit thinner of a Live After Lock show today, just because of how many games we have here. But just in case you guys didn't notice what tomorrow is going to be, if you think today sucks, I get it. Tomorrow has 14 games. 14. Everybody but 2 teams play tomorrow. We're going to have plenty to talk about. And Greg on a Live After Lock tomorrow, going to be pretty darn good. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to dip on out of here, and I will see you tonight for Live After Lock. Sign up at Stokastic. Link